It's beautiful to see that you believe a different president will release it. I feel like this type of thought has been wrong every step of this way. Every step of this way, someone like you comes in and says, they'll never release any of the files. And then we get thousands of them. And they're like, they'll never unredact any of them. And then Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna like pressure and they get more. Like people that do actions actually have made progress. And then every step of the way, people are like, well, nothing will ever happen. Like it's like, I think I know what you're doing. You're protecting yourself, but like, it's not impossible to make progress. People have done it. The anger is causing a change. I'm more optimistic than I think some people are. And I have been for a while now. And I think we're seeing progress. By the way, just to like round this out, since the moment of Donald Trump's election, you can go back and watch my video and my clip from the same time, from the day of his election, when his polling was high and everyone was doomer in this chat. And I was like, dude, you flash forward a year, economic stuff alone is going to kill him. It's going to kill his popularity. And now we are about a year later. His polling is so low and the pressure he's put out on polling stations. Gallup today, after 88 years, stopped measuring presidential approval based on lawsuits he's doing to the parent company. He's like at generational lows. Like people are broadly angry. His defenders are quieter than ever. Like there are, of course, 25% of people that will support him no matter what, of course. But like the idea that we should be like, well, nothing could ever be done because 20% of people, it's like that's not a majority, bro. And they've lost any sort of like movement. Would you vote for Gavin Newsom to have Newsom versus Vance? I'll answer this question easily. First, step one is midterms this year. It needs to be a free and fair election. Otherwise, my entire world has to change. If I feel like this election is in some way, and I had a great question with Pete Buttigieg about this, I encourage you to watch it. If we get through this midterms with a free and fair election, and then then I'm confident about 28 being a real election. There's going to be a primary. And I hope the Democratic primary to challenge Vance or Rubio or Trump 3, whatever they run. I hope the primary is very competitive. I hope we have real debates. I hope we get the candidates we know now, which is like Newsom, Buttigieg, AOC, and more. I hope there's candidates we don't even know about. Again, Bernie didn't show up till 2016 candidacy till late. I hope we get a lot of candidates. I hope it's competitive. But after the primary, personally, me, based on what I've seen, and I'm mostly an economics guy, after the primary, I'm locking the fuck in on whoever's chosen, because I would like this administration to be out. It doesn't matter to me. If it's Newsom, if it's Buttigieg, if it's AOC, if it's fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm just telling you, that's what I've decided. I'm locking the fuck in. Because I have seen, even on a purely economics basis, that this administration is running my country into the ground. It is alienating every ally. The tariffs are fucking stupid. It is gonna make people that I know poorer. My friends in Arizona are less likely to have jobs. It is going to be bad. It is bad, it's gonna be worse. So I'm going to lock the fuck in, even if it's someone that's just gonna fucking maintain. Now I've made my status clear, which is like, if you just try to go back to 2015 or whatever, pre-Trump, you're gonna create another Trump. The conditions will create it. That's the point. The conditions of what we had, which is like ever increasing wealth gap, created Trump, okay? However, what people don't seem to understand, a lot of people think, way people voted in 24 kind of pissed me off, which is like, people don't seem to understand the difference between bad and worse. It's like, this is an example I'll give. I remember when Twitter got bought by Elon, I was like, Twitter kind of sucks, bro. Can't get much worse. I'm not an Elon fan, but it can't get much worse. It did. It got way worse. It got significantly worse, like way worse. And like, that is choices you have to make in life. It's never like, oh, the rainbow button that makes everything great, or the bad button that, do you know what I'm saying? Like you have to make real adult choices in life. You just have to do that. That's fucking life. And if I am living in a society where I have these two choices, I'm going to make, after primary, the one that I have to make, because there's just a livable difference for people. And I don't think that's difficult. And if people don't get that, I'm going to try my best over the next few years to make that more understandable to people. Because I think letting perfect be the enemy of good is fucking crazy. All that being said, I'm voting Trump for his third term. I'm voting Trump 3, and really excited to see what he can do, turn it around. Maybe I'm overreacting, but the Japanese snap election sweep generally scares me more than the US right now. Like Takaichi. Again, I'm an economics guy. I gotta tell you that I view the world through the lens of economics. The reason Takaichi's sweep in Japan is scary is because now that she has a supermajority and can overrule the Japanese constitution and make changes, number one, they're gonna remilitarize, which is the plan. which requires a lot of spending. Even if you don't, not even World War II, Japan getting remilitarized. Again, I think Japan right now is one of America's last few close allies, to be quite honest. I'm not worried about that kind of World War III, but I am worried about, from Japan's POV, they are already massively, massively in debt, most indebted country, first world country on earth. Her plan, her economic plan is stimulus, just more printing, run it hot again. That's what they've been doing for decades. The yen is as weak. I mean, yen to USD, it's horrendous. Like the people of Japan are seeing their currency just shredded. Okay. And this is, by the way, to the USD. Look at yen to like franc, Swiss franc. USD is already weakening, but yen to like a real stable currency is like collapsing. Like so understand that they are going to try to run it hot where the currency is already weak. They're going to print and borrow. And I think Japan is like at the end game. More so than any other country, and all the countries are in debt. Japan is like in the end game, bro. They're like out of options. They're reaching the point where interest payments start taking up all of their government budget. Like everything they're doing is just interest. And they're either having to print to shred the currency and go get near hyperinflation or not. Like they have terrible demographics. They have no real growth prospects. A lot of their big industries are getting undercut by China, like automotive. They're just in a bad spot. And so when countries are in that bad spot, they often turn to like anti-immigrant rhetoric. Like that's what's happening. It's happening in soft places all over, but it's happening heavily in Japan. You're joking about Trump in his third term, but how big are the chances Trump is the first president? Me personally, I don't think there's a chance. It's not zero, which is shocking. But I think my honest assessment is that the last gasp for them to do something truly crazy like that is this midterms. Because every 6 months, this movement that Trump is weaker. It has fewer allies, more rats flee the sinking ship. Do you know what I'm saying? This midterms is like the last real shot to fucking break the election. After this midterms, especially if they get swept at the midterms, I think it's actually like people are super afraid to do any crazy shit like that with him because then they don't think he'll win. They think it's a loss. So I think he's nearing the end of the shelf life. There's a real shot he doesn't make it to the end of the 4 years. I'm not even kidding. The unhappiness Americans are already feeling, but are going to keep feeling as there's more AI job displacement, as there is more economic recessionary job loss, as these debt cracks start to show. Again, we have way more bankruptcies rising. We have people taking on massive credit card debt starting in forever, but in December of last year, that's coming due this year. We have student loans that are, all this shit is like starting to break regular people's economic lives, and they're only going to get angrier. And I'm talking about people that don't give a shit about anything we're saying socially. People that don't care about ICE, people that don't care about even the Epstein stuff. There's like a ton of people that are getting angrier and angrier because they are noticing their paycheck is not keeping up with the fucking cost of living. They can't get fucking, not even a house, let alone that. They can't afford rent. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford insurance. When they look for jobs, there's no good jobs. It takes forever to search. They're doing more gig work. The gig work is extra competitive. Like that is what's happening. And people are getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And these are just people that have no care about most political stuff. But the Dow is 50,000 points. I don't know if you guys know that. So I know that was on one hand, imagine that, but the Dow's over 50K. We are in a bit of a golden age. My dad keeps sending me pics of his 401k going up and saying we have the greatest economy ever and gets angry when I say things feel terrible for me. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that just because that is a wild thing for a dad to do. Just to mog you with his 401k. I do wish people in that position understood. And look, I don't think it's I can't make up your mind for you. I don't think it's the appropriate reaction to be like perma-doomer. I think there's shit you can do. I think there's always ways for you to like make the best of a situation and it's just a better attitude to have. But people in his situation need to be less fucking out of touch and just understand that like the job market in general is not what they remember. It's just not. I don't know how people I feel like I should have everything to make me out of touch. So if I can see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made a fuck ton of money on gold. I should be like, just do that. But like, I can just talk to fucking 5 people that I know who I went to college with, and they can like, it's just so easy to see like, hey man, it's way fucking different than it was even 10 years ago. It's way different. People that I know that are super talented, people that worked at Twitch, people that worked at, not necessarily NVIDIA, because almost no one there ever leaves. I feel like I'm the only person I know that quit NVIDIA. Everyone stays because they cling because the stock is so good. But people at Twitch, for example, they're like, bro, I mentioned a guy I know that got laid off from Meta. That's a guy that like is doing better than the average American. That guy had a great job, high total comp. He got laid off from Meta. he cannot find a fucking even comparable job. He can't do it. He has a great resume. And it's like, look, that's, do you know what I'm saying? That shit is scary. I wish people understood that. Like, it's like people are trying. People aren't radically different than other generations. They're trying.